We want to call it Planet 9 and make it all part of the family. But this thing is so far away that it has yet to complete an orbit around the sun since the Ice Age. I don't want to get all cozy with it because it's not one of us. But the way to figure it out is you look at the rest of the stuff that's orbiting out there and you say, this is collecting over here when it should be over there. There must be some unseen force of gravity enabling that. And so you back calculate the equations and you say, there's got to be an object 10 times the mass of the Earth over there to make that happen.
The solar system just got a new player, and it's shaking up everything we thought we knew about the mysterious Planet 9. Using the wide gaze of the Subaru telescope, astronomers have caught sight of a tiny, distant world lurking far beyond Pluto. A world that might rewrite the story of how our cosmic neighborhood took shape. They've nicknamed it Ammonite, and it first popped up in the Fossil Project's deep space scans from March, May, and August of 2023. At first, it was just a faint speck tagged as 2023 KQ14. But by July 2024, scientists aimed the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope at its predicted location. And there it was again, crawling slowly along its lonely orbit like a ghost in the dark. Digging through years of forgotten telescope archives, they uncovered older images of the same object, hidden in plain sight. That gave them nearly 20 years of its motion to work with. What they found was wild. 2023 KQ14's orbit is so distant and so eccentric that it earned a spot in the ultra-exclusive OID Club, a group with only 3 other known members in the entire universe. Simulations run on Japan's National Astronomical Observatory's supercomputers suggest this little rebel has been cruising on a stable path for roughly 4.5 billion years. But its orbit doesn't match the others, hinting that the outer solar system is way more complicated than anyone guessed. And here's the kicker. Its closest approach to the Sun is a whopping 71 astronomical units. That's 71 times farther out than Earth. On its farthest swing, it drifts out to an insane 432 astronomical units, taking thousands of years to complete a single lap. A find like this could tighten the noose on Planet 9's possible hiding spots, and the hunt just got a whole lot more interesting. It takes 1,000 Earth years for Ammonite to complete just one lap around the Sun, meaning that when workers first laid the stones of the Great Pyramid, this cosmic wanderer had barely started the very same orbit it's now finishing. Think about that. One Ammonite year covers almost all of human history. According to the lead scientist, Ammonite was spotted in a region so far out that Neptune's gravity barely touches it. That hints at something dramatic happening in the ancient days of the solar system, right when Ammonite formed. And here's the twist. 2023 KQ14's orbit doesn't match the other 3 OIDs, which makes the famous Planet 9 theory a lot less certain. The lead researcher even suggested it's possible a massive planet once existed in our solar system but got kicked out long ago, throwing objects like Ammonite into strange tilted paths. If that's true, Planet 9 could still be hiding, just way farther than scientists imagined. Or maybe it was flung into interstellar space, leaving behind nothing but its gravitational fingerprints. Another possibility? Billions of years ago, a passing star may have yanked Ammonite and its OID siblings into their bizarre orbits. And that's not far-fetched. A recent study shows our solar system might look calm now, but it's had its share of cosmic close calls. Sure, giant planets sometimes nudge comets or asteroids toward Earth, but overall, things stay surprisingly steady. Still, in a galaxy with 200 to 400 billion stars, and the solar system drifting through this ocean of fireballs, close encounters are bound to happen sooner or later. Around 75% of those stars are red dwarfs, each just 8% to 40% the Sun's mass. And remember, the Milky Way is huge, stretching about 100,000 light-years across, with a central bulge thousands of light-years wide. Somewhere out there, the echoes of that ancient encounter may still be written in the stars. When scientists figure out how often stars cruise close to our Sun, they crunch numbers on everything. The density of stars in different corners of the galaxy, their looping orbits, and how fast they zip past each other. On average, these cosmic travelers blaze by at about 20 kilometers per second relative to the Sun. From that, researchers can estimate how often one might swing into our neighborhood and mess with the local order. Their math says the closest a star has likely come was about 500 astronomical units away. That's 10 times the distance from the Sun to Pluto. And even that kind of approach only happens once every few 100,000 years, meaning it's rare for a rogue star to throw our planets out of sync. But here's where it gets interesting. While passing stars don't usually push planets around, they do have the power to rattle the Oort cloud, that distant halo of icy bodies surrounding our solar system. These gravitational nudges are happening constantly, but their aftermath can take millions of years to show up. Eventually, one of those kicks could send a frozen time bomb of a comet hurtling toward the inner solar system. The last known visitor to brush past us was Schultz's star, about 70,000 years ago. But fresh research hints that we might have had a far closer call, one that came nearer than even the Voyager probes. According to two separate studies, a rogue star may have flown by just 110 astronomical units from the Sun. That's closer than Voyager 1 is right now on its way out of the solar system. If true, that drive-by could explain the bizarre, tilted orbits of certain far-flung objects and maybe even the strange moons tagging along with some planets. A stellar encounter that close isn't just a chance meeting, it's a galactic near-miss that could have quietly rewritten parts of our solar system's history. Considering the closest star to us right now, Proxima Centauri, sits over 4 light-years away, this rogue star encounter was insanely close. Researchers say only a near-miss like that could explain the wild, chaotic orbits of those distant, hard-to-reach objects lurking beyond Neptune's domain. To find out if a passing star's gravity could be behind the bizarre paths of certain trans-Neptunian objects, scientists unleashed more than 3,000 computer simulations, and the results were wild. Not only did the data back up the idea, but it also uncovered something even stranger. The simulations revealed that a stellar flyby could explain 2 of the weirdest trans-Neptunian objects, ones with retrograde orbits moving in the opposite direction of the planets. It could even account for the distant dwarf planet Sedna, which swings out a staggering 937 astronomical units from the Sun. Astrophysicist Amit Govind, one of the study's co-authors, noted the simulations pointed to a star just a bit smaller than our Sun, about 0.8 solar masses, that passed less than 4 times the distance from the Sun to Neptune. And the ripple effects of that encounter might explain some of the solar system's strangest moons. Take Saturn's moon Phoebe, for example, a distant retrograde oddball. Or the irregular moons around Jupiter and Neptune, which could have started life as trans-Neptunian objects before being stolen away by the gravity of that rogue star. This could also explain why the outer planets have 2 totally different moon types, the regular ones, born with the planets and locked in neat orbits, and the irregular ones, drifting in strange or backward paths, likely captured from the deep outer system. If this close encounter happened billions of years ago, it's a jaw-dropping chapter in our solar system's history, one we might have almost missed. But here's the curveball. What if Planet 9 is still out there? Astronomers have been chasing this mystery giant for years, searching for something massive and hidden beyond Neptune. It refuses to appear in any images, yet its possible pull is felt in the orbits of distant icy bodies. And recently, while scanning the skies for clues, astronomers stumbled on something unexpected. 2017 OF 201, a new dwarf planet candidate. But this isn't just another frozen rock. It might be pointing towards something inconvenient, something that could shake the very reason the Planet 9 hunt began. Astronomers may have just spotted a brand new dwarf planet, and it's a strange one. Using data from Chile's Dark Energy Camera and the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope, they didn't just snap a lucky photo. They dug through 7 years of archived images, finding 19 separate detections. That was enough to piece together its orbit, and the results are jaw-dropping. This object, named 2017 OF 201, takes a wildly stretched elliptical path around the Sun. At its closest, it comes to about 44.5 astronomical units, just beyond Pluto. But at its farthest, it drifts out past 1,600 astronomical units, over 50 times farther than Neptune. One full orbit takes a staggering 25,000 years, putting it deep into Oort cloud territory. It's about 700 kilometers wide, and here's the kicker. It doesn't even interact with Neptune. It's just out there, chilling in deep space with an orbit nobody can fully explain. One theory says 2017 OF-201 may have had a run-in with something huge, maybe even a hidden planet, that flung it onto this bizarre path. And this is where the Planet 9 mystery comes back into play. For years, astronomers have noticed a strange trend. Several distant trans-Neptunian objects, TNOs, don't have random orbits like you'd expect. Instead, they're clustered, tilted, and stretched in the same direction, a sign something massive, possibly 5 to 10 times Earth's mass, is tugging at them. That's the root of the Planet 9 theory. But here's the plot twist. 2017 OF-201 doesn't fit the pattern. Its orbit is way off from the rest, and that's a big problem. If Planet 9 really exists and it's responsible for the orbital clustering we see, then an object like OF-201 shouldn't even be possible, at least not in a stable orbit like this, which means either we're missing something, or the Planet 9 story isn't what we thought. Simulations reveal something shocking. If you plug Planet 9 into the model, 2017 OF-201 gets kicked out of the solar system within just 100 million years. That leaves us with a huge contradiction. Either this object is a cosmic fluke, or the Planet 9 model needs a serious overhaul. And it gets even wilder. OF-201 spends only about 1% of its entire orbit close enough to be spotted, which means we might have just caught it at the perfect moment. If that's true, it could be just the tip of the iceberg, hinting that dozens, maybe even hundreds, of similar hidden worlds are still drifting in the darkness. Right now, OF-201 is positioned close to the Sun in Earth's sky, so researchers have to wait about a month before they can follow up. But they're also eyeing a much bigger prize, time with the James Webb Space Telescope to get an unprecedented look at this distant wanderer. As for Planet 9's fate, it's still hanging in the balance. These simulations only tested one possible location for it, and not all scientists agree on where this hypothetical planet might be hiding. Konstantin Batygin, one of Planet 9's original proposers, says OF-201's discovery neither proves nor disproves the theory. Speaking with NBC News, he explained that the best objects for detecting Planet 9's gravitational footprint are ones whose closest orbital points still keep them far from Neptune, and OF-201 doesn't qualify. Its orbit is just too chaotic. Meanwhile, Xiangyu Wang, who led the discovery of OF-201, says he hasn't given up hope. After all, the entire project began as a hunt for Planet 9. And if you're still holding out for that elusive ninth planet, here's your twist. A team at National Central University in Taiwan might have just cracked the code with an unconventional approach. And they could be closer than anyone has ever been to finally finding it. It's just a faint speck buried in 23-year-old telescope images. Yet it could be the biggest discovery of our time. The long-rumored Planet 9. Why do scientists even think it exists? History gives us a clue. In 1781, William Herschel accidentally found Uranus while hunting comets. But Uranus's orbit was off, wobbling in a way Newton's laws couldn't explain. Mathematician Urbain Le Verrier ran the numbers and predicted another planet. When astronomers looked, Neptune was right where he said. Fast forward to 2016, Caltech's Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin spotted something similar. Several distant Kuiper Belt objects had clustered, tilted orbits, as if something huge was pulling them. The math pointed to a hidden world, 5 to 10 times Earth's mass, far beyond Pluto, possibly invisible in regular light. Since then, astronomers have been chasing shadows at the edge of the solar system. And this tiny dot might be the first glimpse of the real thing. The farther away something is, the harder it is to spot, especially if it barely reflects sunlight. To hunt Planet 9, a team at National Central University in Taiwan compared two massive infrared sky surveys, NASA's IRIS mission from 1983 and Japan's Akari mission from 2006 to 2011. They searched for faint objects appearing in both surveys, but in slightly different spots. The slow crawl of a distant planet. Planet 9, if real, would move just 3 arc-minutes per year. Tiny compared to the Moon's 1,800 arc-minutes. Using parallax, the apparent shift in position when viewing from different points in Earth's orbit, they ruled out stars and galaxies, then looked for anything drifting over time. They found it, a faint dot in the 1983 IRAS data, and another 47 arc-minutes away in the 2006 AKARI data. If it's the same object, its infrared brightness suggests it's more massive than Neptune. Now, knowing where it was, astronomers can try to spot it again with today's most powerful telescopes. But there's a catch. Since Akari spotted it, this mystery object would have drifted, and we don't know exactly where. But we do have the tools to hunt it down. Chile's dark energy camera has a wide enough field of view to sweep the right patch of sky, and soon the Vera Rubin Observatory will begin scanning even deeper and wider than ever before. If this thing is real and still glowing faintly, chances are we'll see it again. But not everyone's buying it. Mike Brown, co-creator of the Planet 9 theory, has reviewed the data himself. While he isn't ruling it out entirely, he's skeptical, because the candidate's orbit doesn't match expectations. Planet 9 should be tilted about 15 to 20 degrees from the solar system's plane. This object? More like 120 degrees. That means it's not just tilted, it's moving in the opposite direction from most planets. In Brown's own words, it's not impossible, but it's not Planet 9. If you want to see what else might be lurking out there, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment, because this hunt is far from over.